threw me down in a hole cut deep. Dirt wall, sweating orange red light. Boots and voices on the rim up top. Silhouettes against the night. Somebody said ain't no door down there, boy. This is where you win. I tasted ash on my tongue and laughed like, hell, that's what you recommend. Smoke crawled up like a living thing, claws scratching at my throat. He laid a hole in my worn out jeans, tried to climb inside my coat. I saw bones half buried in the cold, names burned off, no face, no sound. Thought if I stay still, I'm just another ghost they don't write down. So I pressed one palm on the burning rock, let the pain spell out my choice. Said if this is your hell for me, then hear my voice. I knocked 3 times on the folly wall. Sparks jumped back like they heard a call. Flame leaned in like it knew my name. I said, you ain't my grave, you're just my flame. They cast me down. I walked back up through their fire. Turned every burn on my skin to a live wire choir. If you're gonna call this pit my fate, watch me make hell open up its gate. Oh, I don't need a ladder, I don't need a rope. Just blood, bad history, and a hard-learned hope. You can try to lock me under all you desire, but I'll call my name in the smoke and I'll rise through the wire. They cast me down, but I came walking out of that flame they made like I on the fire. Sidebar by a dead end sign, few miles past where the map runs thin. I walked in with my jacket charred, smell of smoke still stuck to my skin. Old boys turned, saw my burn scarred hands, went quiet over their beer. One said, you look like hell itself, spat you back up out of here. I shrugged and said, my lighter down, little silver cross engraved. Said hell got tired of holding me, I wasn't built to stay enslaved. Bartender eyed the blackened cuff, sand round my frayed shirt sleeve. Said you mad at God or just at fate for not asking if you leave. I grinned, I ain't mad at heaven, man, I'm just done begging doors to swing. If the devil wants my company, he can learn my song when I sing. Jukebox hum like a low black prayer, thunder roll slow like a distant stare. I raised my glass to the flames I knew, said I walked out once, I can walk back through. They cast me down, I walked back up through their fire. Turned every scar on my soul to a live wire choir. If you're gonna call that hole my fate, watch me make hell open up its gate. Oh, I don't chase the halos, I don't beg the sky, just burn so bright even devils blink twice. You can stack your trials till the walls get high, but I'll knock on stone till the flames split open like a choir. If they say you're ours, I'll just smile and grin. If you're keeping me, then you'll learn my skin. I didn't fall to vanish in somebody else's story wire. They cast me down, but I walk back up through their fire. And if hell ever speaks my name again at night, it'll say it slow with a little respect, 'cause I'm the man that made its own gates open to my light. Open to my life. Morning light in a busted motel, neon dying in the hall. He's been shaving by the window for years, never facing glass at all. Old cracked mirror on the bathroom door, towel hanging over its eyes. He lives by half reflections, just boots and smoking lies. There's sweat and whiskey in his pores, old blood in his folded sleeves. Every wrong turn, every burned bridge, sitting quiet in the way he breathes. He keeps his head down when he passes chrome shop front windows, bathroom shine. Cause he swears that if he ever looks dead on to see the man that crossed his own line. But this morning, something in his bones says, run or stand. He shuts that door, wipes dust off the glass with a shaking hand. He says, if you're gonna judge me, then don't blink. Show me every wound and watch if I sink. Sun cuts lines through the cigarette haze. Mirror waits quiet like it's counting his days. He put his hand on the mirror and it cracked not him. Every fall line spotted out from the life he lived. He stared that broken version down and never slid. He faced the glass and it broke before he did.
He ain't asking for a clean white name. He just ain't running from his own damn face. If the world calls him sinner, that's their bid. But no reflection holds a right to tell him if
he's fit to live. And it broke before he did. Night falls later at a roadside bar, red neon on his collarbone. There's a shot of that old motel mirror riding loose inside his coat like stone. He keeps it wrapped in a diner napkin, streak of dry blood on the edge. Little relic from the morning he decided he was done being just a pledge. A girl with smoke on her lips and a silver cross low on her chest catches the flash when he sets it down. Says you carry pieces of your mess. He grins and taps that jagged glass. No ma'am, I carry proof I stayed. I looked that bastard in the eye, and I'm the one who didn't fade. Bartender snorts, wipes down the wood, says you think that saves your soul. He shrugs, I ain't saved, I'm just not scared of knowing what I stole. He says if heaven's got a problem it can speak. Till then I live with what I see once a week. Lightning sketches his shadow on the floor. That broken glass don't own him anymore. He put his hand on the mirror and it cracked not him. Every secret, every shame started shivering at the rim. He stared that fractured stranger down and never slid. He faced the glass and it broke before he did.
he don't beg mercy from the things he's done. He just stops running from the man he's become. If angels go quiet, that's their mid. He'll still walk on in his own skin, not the one they hid.
So if you see him in a bathroom light, hand on glass in the middle of the night, know that chill you feel ain't fear. Is the soul going legit? Cause he finally learned to stand there while the mirror's the one that quits. He ain't clean, he ain't pure, but he's through being a kid. He faced the glass and it broke before he did. They said I was the kind you don't forgive, the name you don't say in a good man's crib. Just a curse in a small town mouth, a ghost in boots headed straight down south. Sunset bleeding on a dusty hill, preacher's eyes saying never will. They laid that heavy wooden cross in the dirt, said you won't outrun what you already heard. I spit blood on the dry red ground, felt that weight in my hands, heard my bones make sound. I said I ain't here to beg for grace, I just wanna feel how much I've stained this place. So I threw it up on my busted back, wood cut deep where the scars were black. Every step felt like a crime call out, but I kept on climbing through that looking crowd. They said, "You're a sin that no cross can clean." I said, "Then watch what I do with what I've been." Wind kicked dust in my tear-burned eyes, but I kept my boots moving toward that sky. I carried the cross till it learned my weight, dragged every bad thing I'd done up to that gate. If I'm too far gone for your saints to save, then I'll make my own trial on this barren grave. I didn't climb that hill just to fall and plead. I came to see what my soul still needs. When I drove that wood down, I stood up straight. Now it stands for me, not the other way. I carry the cross till its shadow lowered down and met my name. Top of that hill, sky turned steel. Air went quiet like it came to kneel. My knees were shaking, but my hands held fast. Splinters singing every song of my past. I heard one voice from the crowd below. He's still the same, let the bastard go. Another voice, softer, God, if you're there. But the wind only answered with a hollowed out prayer. So I talked to the cross like it owed me dead. Said, "You hung over better men, don't forget. I ain't here to play no holy son. I'm just owning every damn thing I done." Then I lifted that beam with a final shove. Felt the ground take hold, felt the weight above. Blood ran warm down the back of my hand, mixing with the dirt like a signed-off brand. I said, "If heaven's watching, it can keep its seat. I'll stand right here on my 2 warm feet. If this is my burden, then this is my crown. I'm done letting any symbol push me down. I carry the cross till it learned my weight, turned every whisperer lost, and it still ain't breaking yet. If I'm too stained up for their clean white prayers, then I'll stake my own name in this open air. I didn't climb that hill to come back clean. I climbed to stand inside everything I've been. When I drove that wood and it met its gaze, it stood there for me, not the other way. You can call me guilty, you can write me down, but I won't bow down to my own brand. If the shadows wanna judge me, let them try, I'll make them shorter when I stand up to the sky. 'Cause I carry the cross through the weight, through the hate, through the doubt and shame. And I walked off the hill in the same warm boots, but the shadow on the ground knew my name. 317 on a 2-lane blacktop, busted hood, windshield gone. Your truck kissed a cottonwood tree, radio still humming some old song. Glass in your hair, smoke in your lungs, red drip soaking through your shirt. One hand stuck on the steering wheel, one pressed tight where it hurts. Headlights pointing at the ditch like a spotlight on your crime. Breath coming in crooked pieces, out of rhythm, out of time. Then the air went cold on a July night. Everything around went still, and a shadow stepped out of the tree line like it finally closed the deal. He smiled thin, eyes black as oil, held his hand out calm and plain. You heard him whisper in your bones, "Come on, boy, say my name." Everybody else you ever knew would beg, look down, or run, but you'd already danced with bullets, with the bottle, with the gun. You locked your fingers in his grip like an old familiar friend. Said, "Kill me if you want to, but that ain't where I am." The heart in your chest made death forget its name. You stared him down 'cause you shook his hand and he lost your name in his head. You didn't flinch, didn't cry, didn't plead no case. Just let him see the whole damn storm in your face. If the Reaper keeps a list, you're slipped off the page, 'cause you looked him in the eye like a man born out of rage. Yeah, death tried to claim you in that twisted bed, but walked away wondering why he lost your name instead. Couple years on same county line, little bar with a graveyard star. Neon cross in the window, buzzing smoke rings hang like question marks. You're leaning at the end of the counter, scars still pale along your wrist. Thumb running slow on a cheap glass rim, like you're reading Braille off your own twist. There's a man in black in a corner booth, head low staring at his drink. Looks a lot like that night shadow, but his eyes just don't quite link. Like he's trying hard to place your face from a file he lost in time. Like he knows he should have taken you, but can't prove you were ever mine. Bartender nods at the jagged scar, peeking out beneath your sleeve. Says you crashed that truck or dodged that hell. Why you still here, you believe me? You laugh one slow and tired like gravel rolling down a hill. Say I met the man supposed to take me, guess I wanted it more than he did. Still, girl with a rosary round her neck says, ain't you scared he'll come again? You shrug, he knows my heartbeat now. We're past enemies or friends. If heaven's keeping count on you, it ain't exactly clear, but death is sitting in that corner, looking like it don't belong here. 'Cause a heart in your chest made death forget its name. Whoa. You looked him dead on through the wreck and the flame. Whoa. If he came to claim you, he lost his tread when you held your ground and he lost your name instead. You didn't trade your sins for some clean white sky. Didn't bargain, didn't even ask why. You just said do your job, but I won't disappear. Now we stuck staring through the smoke every time you're drinking here. If the good Lord's watching, he can read that scar. See a soul that shook the Reaper and still plays this bar. You know one day you'll go, but not like they expect. Not crawling, not begging, just cashing one last check. Till then you walk that razor line, boots steady on the edge, with a heart loud enough to make death lose his pledge. If the shadows ever whisper that your story's dead, they'll find an empty page where your name was supposed to be read. Yeah, death tried to claim you, cold hand, cold breath, cold tread, but now he just sits in the corner trying to remember the man whose heart made him forget.